Oh, I just love that song. Hey, everybody. Oh, let's just keep playing it. Can we play the 23-minute version of that song, Ben, next time? Maybe let's do the whole show just on that song. Hey, everybody. Rod Onesti here, Hangin' and Bangin' Artists on Lockdown. It's another Thursday night with rock and roll legends tonight. We typically talk to guys that are folks, professionals, pros, rock and roll pros in front of the camera. Well, tonight, we're talking to a couple of guys behind the camera with some great stories, and you're talking about the top of the top, the creme de la. So, a couple surprise a little bit later as well. But let me bring my brothers on, who we've been doing this. This is 14. This is episode number 14 on season 2 of Artists on Lockdown, Hangin' and Bangin', and we've been doing it every week on Thursday with CARMINE APPICE and Vinny APPICE. Hey guys, come on. We got to talk about some cool stuff that happened.
We got both of us. Wow.
Yes, I'm going to do it this way because, what is that? Okay, look at that.
What is that?
That's a luggage tag made out of
luggage
metal.
Tag.
I got one of those too.
Except Leslie she was nice enough to make that for me for Christmas, but she put my home address on it.
Oh,
Come on,
good.
Leslie.
No, that's not cool.
I would take, that is not.
No, now when the luggage is hanging around a dressing room and, fuck.
Yeah, now I know where to go. So,
but I want to get them made again. These are really cool.
All right. Well, why don't you, I think my own opinion is that.
Hey, what's that shirt you're wearing?
I don't know what you're talking about, but my opinion is that you guys get that luggage tag for each other for Christmas. That's my own little opinion.
Yeah. Well, here's what I did to it.
Oh, that's funny.
Oh, that looks like shit. This is so nice.
It really does. It really does.
The address.
Yeah, it does.
I'm going to have to do that. So it was a big week. You know why it was a big week for me personally?
Yeah.
Because I had the legendary Drum Monster in my humble little place there at St. Charles, the Arcada Theater. We had last in line, a sold-out crowd, and it was incredible. But it was so much work. You think putting on a concert is a lot of work? I mean, you guys got to do a lot of stuff. But, for a second, come on my side. When I got to deal with you guys, I got to go through the offer process, the contractual process, the backstage, all that stuff I got to do. And even more importantly, I had to do this when we had a little thing for Vinny. And, I mean, you guys play music. Yeah, that's important, I guess. But this was really important. So as you guys know, and I'm just talking to you, Carmine, as you know, your little brother busts my chops every week when I was making T-shirts to honor our guests. And I thought it was a source of respect and honor that I would have Nugent, I'd have everybody on here. So I decided, and he busts my chops, so I decided to really give Vinny a hero's welcome in St. Charles.
Yes, you did.
So explain because I wasn't there when you first got there. You walked in. What did you see, Vin?
Well, I walk in, we pull up, and then I see the guys start loading in, and this one guy comes out and he's wearing that shirt. I went, what the fuck? What the heck is that? And then I see another guy come out with that shirt. I go, oh shit. Then I go in the venue, and every employee in the place is wearing that.
You got
sticker.
Is it a real shirt or a stick-on like that?
No, it's a real shirt. Ben,
there's one over here. Look, they're all over the place.
So that was me. Give me another picture of some of the employees, Ben. What do we have there? Because we had, that's me and Vinny on stage. So let's show the video, Ben, because we already showed that. Okay, show the video, Ben. This is what happened. This is how it all happened.
Here we are at the Arcada Theater, and I am so lucky to have Anthony, my younger brother. It's Vinny Anthony, and I'm Lionel Messi, and this is Hangin and Bangin.
We had the whole audience.
Wow.
This took a lot of planning. Like
I turned around.
What are you going to do when I play there in a few weeks?
I didn't see that at all, and
that's great.
Then we turned around and they all put up the shirts and everything. I was like, holy shit! They're without, Vinny's everywhere. That's freaky to see your face all over the place.
Frankly, there was one Vinny too many, but we had a great time and last.
Good job, Ron. That was a good one. I'm still thinking what I'm going to do to you, but that's okay.
Well, I gotta top this for our big brother here, and I think you know what I might do just to bust your chops, Carmine. I might do the same thing with Vinny shirts. Maybe that'll bust your balls.
Oh yeah, that'll bust my balls.
All right, let's. Speaking of real pictures, because this isn't one of them. This is his face as the character from our logo. But we got a couple of freaking legends here. I mean, really, probably the two undisputed rock and roll photographer champions in history. We got Mark Weiss, of course, and Neil Zlozower. And I love his. I love his.
You almost screwed that up.
I know.
I heard that.
I got Zloz.com. I love that. Let's bring them to the microphone here and let's talk to these guys. They got some great stories, and here they are. What's up, my guy?
Hey, how's it going?
What's up, guys?
Now we're in trouble.
I thought it was Zlozower.
That is right. Thank you, Mark.
Zlozower.
Ron doesn't know.
No, he doesn't know. He didn't.
But here's the thing.
Know.
Wait a second. First question, Ron. You introduced Carmine APPICE, and his little brother, Vinny APPICE. Well, they're brothers. How come you're pronouncing them different? So why don't we get the facts straight now? What is it, APPICE or APPICE?
We did that. It's a
you know what? It's Smith. That's the weird thing.
That's okay.
No, as my older brother said, it's a peach.
A peach.
Oh, okay.
Do you know, Slows, do you know that they've got a third guy, Frank, and he calls his name APPICE. He's got a piece. The other one, APPICE.
Carmine, can you move to the drums?
What?
I'll tell Neil the story. Just get on the drum real quick.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
Can you hit it with the stick?
Yeah, hold on a minute.
You got to tell a quick story with the drums.
I have to do, with drums. Hold on.
What are you making your brother do?
Okay, wait. All right. You ready? Oh, let us put his phone in.
Ready?
Okay, so Carmine started playing first. And that's the story, Neil.
Oh, I got it now. Okay,
now I get it.
we do that live, but it's perfect live. It's hard to do.
The truth comes out.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, guys, welcome to the show. It's really amazing. Zloz, and I didn't do the name right. And you know what the ironic thing is? I'm so freaking afraid of you. Because everybody, you look at, especially you look at your trailer, you look at all the rock stars, they say he's a mother effer, he's a this, he's a that, but he's one of us. And that's what's really cool about both you guys, that, everybody has said that they just don't look at you guys as photographers. You're just one of the family, one of the guys, and that's why I think you guys are able to grab these really unique shots. Is that true?
Yeah, that's true. I can vouch for both of them. It's definitely true. They don't come off like a regular photographer. Like if you go to a session for both of them, they'll look at you and go, attitude, fucking attitude.
Yeah, I like
especially Neil.
I
like to abuse my clients.
Yeah.
I was going to say, that's not me. I don't do the attitude thing. I just do the, hey, look this way, look that way. That's the way you look good. We got different approaches, but the bottom line is we get along with these guys. They're our friends, and we just happen to have a camera on our hands, and we're like, all right, let's take some photos and have some fun and make some money.
Well,
Yeah.
you know, Mark, the interesting thing that I saw that, you know, how you kind of got started was kind of doing it like under the radar at these shows when you're younger, you know, when you're just like my first show was Peter Frampton at Hawthorne Racetrack in 1976. My second show was Zeppelin at the International Amphitheater in Chicago. And those are two very particular shows for you as well, right?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, Frampton. The first time I shot at the Garden was Peter Frampton in '75, and I stuck my camera in, and you know, at that point, I didn't really know too much about photography and how it worked, but I ended up having nosebleed seats, like all the way up there, like at the Garden, blue seats they were called, Blue Heaven, and I figured I would take a picture. I was shooting black and white, and if I would enlarge it, it will be fine, you know. And then when I got home and I got these pictures of Peter playing like 1,000 miles away, I figured I'd blow it up, and then when I blew it up, all I saw was a bunch of grain. So
Oh
the
shit.
next time I shot Peter in '77, I gotta get closer. And the next show I did, I just like whatever it took to get in the first 10 feet, you know, I did. And ironically enough, from '77 to 2 years later in '79, Peter hired me to shoot his publicity photos for at his house in Westchester. So
That's cool. That's cool.
That's
You had to get
weird.
that photo pass. The photo pass.
That's a big deal, the photo pass.
yeah, the photo
Photo
pass
pass.
came like a year later. So I got the photo pass in '70, like about '78, '79. Neil was a little older than me, so he was already had his feet wet with Van Halen and all those guys.
I met Neil. When was it? What did we say today, Neil? 73?
What?
Wow.
That I started
When I met you,
Oh, I think it was Beck Bogart and
APPICE.
Apathy.
because it was you. So Beck Bogart and APPICE days I shot.
Oh God.
And then, and then after that, I think it was Rod Stewart band you were in doing that. You know,
Now, what about?
I've known you a long time.
Yeah, Neil shot the picture that was on my realistic rock book for many, many years. I would say 300,000 copies worth. Neil's photo was on the cover of that book.
Wow.
Yeah, and he still uses that photo because he's so young back then. He's still
Now, you know what I did now? I use
You're
I
right.
use an oil painting. I use an oil painting now.
Oh, look at
there's
that shot.
That's a good shot. I remember
That's
that.
a great shot. Look at that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I remember that. Vinny, you wouldn't follow Buddy Rich, remember?
Look
Absolutely.
at Buddy.
I did. I wonder who that is.
See, I look good in that photo. I love it.
I
never
know.
looked.
That's a true drumhead.
Yeah,
That's true.
it is.
Whoa,
Look at
look
that.
at that. Yeah, man.
No hair.
Wow.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I didn't cut your head off in the photo, Vinny. So
Yeah, I see that. Oh,
There
there
we
you
go.
go. Yeah, yeah.
There we go.
Yeah,
There
Neil
you
wouldn't have did that. Come on.
good work, Ben.
A peach on
A
there.
peach. Yeah, there it is.
APPICE.
App
Oh,
ice.
God.
I know,
Please don't
See,
have
we
that
had-
one, please.
We had app in the name way before app became
That's right.
popular.
That's hysterical. So
Who's that? Neil
give me that-
Lostgren? Who's that
What?
guy?
No, that looks,
That's the boss.
that's Bruce.
Oh,
That's
it's
Bruce.
Oh, okay.
That's Bruce.
He's so young. Wow.
I think that's 1984, I believe.
Wow.
So Neil, what was your first photo pass?
Well, the first real one or the first bootleg ones that me and my partner used to make to get up.
That's
and
what I want to hear.
That one.
You know what? I don't know
The
what my
bootleg.
first photo pass is. I can't remember, but I remember we were on tour, me and my partner Todd Gray, for the Stones in '72. So their manager, Marshall Chess Jr., he was giving us photo passes to Winterland and LA Forum and San Diego. We even had a photo in Life magazine in '72 because Jim Marshall was actually, who's my idol, by the way, Jim Marshall. So he actually was hired by Life magazine, but we got one photo in there at the end of the spread of Mick
Wow.
throwing a whole bunch of flowers in the audience. So I was probably getting photo passes in '71, maybe '70, but I don't remember who.
Wow, you're old, Neil.
That's a lot of brain cells, but you've lost a few too because of your motorcycle accident. Right?
If you would ask me the same question, I could say I don't know because I really don't
Yeah,
remember.
right.
You told me once you don't remember, so.
Yeah. Well, you
Well,
were.
you know-
there you go.
Ah, that's a cool one right there.
There it is with my new look.
That
My
was
you look photo.
at the Weiss Fest. Remember the Weiss
Yeah,
Fest?
yeah, the Weiss Fest
Yeah,
out
there it
at
is.
Kodiak
There it is.
played,
Yeah,
and
played.
we played, and there was that chick there. What's that chick? Jenny, is that her name?
Jenny.
She was Jenny. She was watching us take the photos, and then she followed me on Instagram, and she got all these wild pictures on Instagram. Oh, look at
Oh
that!
my God.
Vinny, that was the first
Wow.
time I shot you guys when you played
Wow.
the Black and Blue tour.
That's not me. That's my son.
That's what I meant. First time I shot
Holy
you.
shit. I never seen that one.
Nice haircut too.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
That's awful.
Look at those mustaches. Wow.
So
Yeah,
Vinny,
Oh,
right?
yeah. Those
Was that-
mustaches were scary. They meant business.
Was that 1980, the Heaven and Hell tour? I thought it was 82.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, that's 1980.
Yeah, it was at Madison Square Garden. That was my first time I actually shot you guys. I did a photo shoot with Eric Bloom with his motorcycle, and you guys were back there. And I went to the tour manager. I said I was working for Circus Magazine. Can we do a photo shoot? He gathered everyone together, and you guys just kind of winged it. And that's the first time I met Ronnie and Tony and Geezer and yourself. So
Wow.
from that,
Cool.
that was the beginning of a long time relationship.
Yeah.
What venue was that? New York?
Madison
The
Square
garden.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
The garden. Wow, look at that, man. That is vintage
That's-
stuff.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
look at these guys.
Oh, look at that.
So Vinny's starting to be cool now. He's starting to feel the rock star.
Yeah.
Now I'm getting the picture now.
Getting the
yeah.
look. Getting
Vinny,
the look.
what hat were you wearing in that picture?
There's no hat. That's a real hair, buddy.
Oh my God!
It's still there. It's still there. Not as much.
Look at this guy.
But look at everybody. Everybody's young.
Jeez, it looks like you look like 4 Dennis DeYoungs from Styx.
I don't know if that's good or bad. We did have him on the show.
I know we did. Mark, I saw in your trailer that obviously, oh yeah, that's the book right there. For a Decade That Rocked, which is a staple, the Bible of rock and roll you got to get if you're a true rock and roll fan. But I saw in the trailer that Gene Simmons gave you, a bunch of thumbs up. But I also thought it was ironic because didn't he or the band have you arrested at some point?
Well, when I was 17, I was sneaking into concerts. I used to go to like the first night at Madison Square Garden, sneak in, get real close, and take pictures and develop them all night, and come back with like 100 photos and sell them for $1 a piece with my friend. And at this concert, I got arrested, and the next day I went to Circus Magazine, and next thing you know, I'm working for him. So I told Gene the story maybe like 7-8 years ago when they played Jones Beach, and he's like, Mark, you shouldn't have been.
I was at that gig.
He's like, Mark, you shouldn't have been doing that. I'm like, yeah, but Gene, if I didn't get arrested, I wouldn't have been working for Circus, and I wouldn't have been your photographer for the last 35 years.
See how that works?
And then he
That's
goes,
cool.
well, Mark, you shouldn't have been doing that. So anyway, that's the
But
photo. That's the photo I got arrested. I was 17. I was still in high school.
Wow.
So yeah, and that's in my book, The Decade That Rocked.
Yep, that's photographic irony, I think, because how it all worked out, man. It's really, really something. Is there Neil? Is there a picture that? And I know you probably get asked this all the time, but I was trying to find the answer to this. Is there one that you would call your most iconic shot?
No, not really. I have one of Mick Jagger from '72 that I love. That's probably one of my favorite shots. And then
That was
my Motley Crue Blood session I did. That's pretty iconic in general, but I don't think I have one photo that's I got tons.
I should have sent you the photo to answer to that. It's the picture of me with King Cobra that you did.
Oh yeah, you mean this?
Yeah, it was like it was a great, amazing shot.
Those were good. That was a good album too. That first one was good.
Yeah, I know.
Not the roller coaster album.
And you know what, Ron? I know we got Cactus coming to your place.
Yep.
He loves Cactus. Neil's a
Love it.
big
Love
Cactus.
a Cactus. Love.
Yeah.
Cactus.
Hey Neil, let me fly you in for the show. I will fly you in to my show at the Cactus show by my place here in Chicago.
Who's in the band these days?
It doesn't matter. We're still playing
Carmine.
shit.
You know
That's all
what?
you need.
I even listened to the later Cactus 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 53, 57.
Yeah.
I like
60.
53. That's pretty good too.
No, they're all really good. I actually put on the later Cactus albums too. I
Yeah,
was
they're
just
good.
a kick-ass bar band, a
They are
boogie
good.
Really?
woogie rock and roll band. Love them.
Yeah, man. What happened to the screen, Ben?
It's a grungy rock band before grunge came out. Loved it.
Yeah.
Look
Oh,
at
whose
that.
shot is
Bowie.
that? Is that yours, Neil?
Yeah, that's one of my David Bowie shots where I think I had to sneak the camera in because back then there was the rumor David never flew anywhere on airplanes and he never liked photographers and let them really shoot. So I snuck my cameras into all the David Bowie shows.
Good.
You know, it's funny how you hear that story from so many photographers. Just how much sneaking is a part of their career. You know, it really is.
Hey, you got to do what you got to do to get the photo. You know, that's part
man.
of being a successful photographer. Mark knows how that goes.
Neil, did you ever count? Did you ever count how many photos you have in that gigantic file in your studio?
File? You mean the 19 4-drawer file cabinets? But that's just film. That's not
just
even
film, yeah. And then you got the digital. Forget
the
it.
hundreds and thousands of digitals. You know.
Wow.
So.
Yeah, but we don't count the digital, Neil. I mean, that's digital is digital.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, but my brain cells don't go up to that high. I can only count about 100 or 200, and then they stop.
It's probably hundreds of thousands of slides, I would think.
Probably a lot more than that, I would think.
You know, and Neil is not only a great photographer; he works on Jaguars too.
And
how many times he came over and worked on my Jaguar at my house?
Really?
When little Carmine's car broke down, I had to come running out and save his butt. You know.
Yeah, he did. So. Awesome. He's got a good collection of Jaguars and good, cool cars.
Well, you know, for me, every week I get, I'm a theater, a venue owner, guys. I'm just a humble, venue owner, and I bring these guys in. These are all rock and roll legends. But I got to say, you guys are heroes of mine. They really are. You really are, because for me, rock and roll was, obviously we didn't have digital stuff back then. So Circus, Hit Parader was my rock and roll porn, man. And to see just how many covers that you guys did on those two publications alone, let alone Rolling Stone and everything else. Was it literally every week you guys doing, alternating, or how did that work? Almost.
I don't know.
Were you freelancers? You weren't working for them, were they?
I don't think me and Neil like kept track. We were so busy, like going on different tours back and forth. We didn't even. That's why I put this book out. I never even had a portfolio, so this is like my portfolio from back in the day. I don't know if Neil had a portfolio, probably not, but we just it was word of mouth. We were having fun, and pictures would end up in every magazine every week. It would be Neil and
crazy.
Me.
Yeah, but see, myself and Mark, we worked with the biggest rock and roll artists, whether it was Twisted Sister, Bon Jovi, or Poison, Rat, Motley Crue, Guns N' Roses. And those bands wouldn't just shoot with any photographer, because most rock photographers, I hate to say it, are sort of retarded idiots, So we fit in with the bands better. So the bands liked working with us. So if you did a Bon Jovi shoot or a Motley shoot or a Twisted shoot, you could sell that. Back in the 80s, there was 20, 30 different American rock magazines that came out monthly. So it was a great period for music back in the 80s.
I'm sure Neil did the same thing, but when we did photo shoots, we would have them bring different wardrobe. They'd want to bring the different wardrobe, but every time they put on a different shirt or a jacket, it's like money in the bank, because the magazines wanted different backgrounds. And so it's whenever I did a photo shoot, I would say, all right, bring whatever you want, let's go for it.
Well, I got to think that, and we're looking at D, obviously, Twisted, and I got to think that, obviously, working with all these guys was great. But, one of my favorite pictures that I stumbled on was the D. Snyder, Alice Cooper shot. And I got to think those two guys were kind of made for you photographers, just made for you. And how cooperative were they? All right, let's get this done, or did they really get into it?
Well, that was that Be Cruel to Your Soul video come out and play. So whenever, you know, I would go on a video shoot, I would, you know, take the downtime to create a set that was somewhere on the video and just like grab them and make the best of it until the director said, where's Alice and D? You know, where the fuck are they? And, you know, I'd be like grabbing them in the corner, you know, doing photos, and then they would go. So, you know, they were cooperative. That particular photo, they were great. I mean, Dee and Alice, and I'm sure Neil would vouch for it, are like as professional as you can make it. I mean, those guys were amazing subjects, and they were just so cooperative. They still are. They're just great subjects.
So Neil, why did you obviously you got the Van Halen of vocal history? What made you focus on Van Halen? I mean, obviously you had a tremendous relationship with Eddie and the rest of the guys. What made you take it to that level?
Well, being a photographer, what you try to have to do is figure out what bands are going to become huge, and you have to get them at their infant stage, because once they're big and popular, all the parasite, maggot, leech photographers want to come out and work with you. So right. You have to go through the motions when they're nobodies and hang with them and prove yourself to them. So when they become big, hopefully they take you with them. So the first time I heard Van Halen's music, or Poison, or Rat, or Guns N' Roses, whoever it was, Quiet Riot even, I said, this band is going to be huge. I want to work with this band. Plus, you know, I'm a music fanatic anyway. I listen to music from basically the second I get up till when I go to sleep. So the first time I heard Van Halen, we were coming off the disco, you know, era, Donna Summers, Village People. There was no good rock and roll in 76, 77, 78. I heard Van Halen. I was like blown away. So I wanted to work with them, and we were all around the same age, and they were in Pasadena, and we got to be good friends and hang, and I did a lot of work with them.
And people don't realize really
That's
to what
great.
degree you do that kind of thing when you get involved in an act from the beginning, and you almost help them get to another level. I mean, you're part of the equation of them getting to another level. And, you know, for you, Mark, what you did for Sebastian Bach alone was just mind-blowing. And I don't know if people really understand how that whole thing happened.
Well, I shot first of all, I have a different approach than Neil. Like, I like all the bands. I don't really shoot them as like, if they're going to be like huge, I'm going to cover them. I'll cover them whether they get successful, they sell 1 million records, or they sell 2 records. You know, I look at it like it's finding 4 or 5 new friends. You know, it's my way of finding friends. But with that said, like with Sebastian, I shot him at Madam X. There was 1985. I shot him with, you know, they were Madam X with that when Brett was left the band and they had a new singer. I got a call from Maxine and Chris band, and they told me that they had a new singer, and I went down and shot it, and that's how I met Sebastian.
You mean Madam X with Roxy Petrucci on was?
Yeah, with Roxy,
oh, yeah. I didn't know he was in that.
Yeah, and 6 months later, I was getting married, and I told my secretary to invite those guys that I met in Texas. I said, you know, they're pretty crazy and wild, and I was having a, you know, kind of a rock and roll wedding, and so I didn't think they were going to come because they were, you know, they lived in Detroit and they can barely, like, you know, feed themselves at the time, and they showed up, and then Sebastian went and got on stage at the end. We took over the wedding band. Sebastian. Crazy. Kevin Dubrow was there, you know, and the Twisted Sister guys were there, and Zach, who I introduced to Ozzy, was there. He didn't record with Ozzy yet, but he was there, and they all took over the stage, which is the video of this wedding I just released when I released my book. So that's out there. It's pretty cool stuff. There's like 3.
And so you also introduced Zach Wild Ozzy.
We just saw Sebastian a week ago at the Buffalo airport.
Yeah, at the airport. I got to get my charger.
We're walking by, you know, we're talking, and we see him and his band. We knew his band. And I said to Vinny, I said, who is that? I know his face because he got big, you know?
He's a big dude, man.
He's a big dude now. And I said to Vinny, I said, who is that? He said, it's Sebastian. I said, oh, my God. No wonder he looks so familiar, you know? And we took a picture. I got it on my phone, you know? So I I said, text it to me. You got my number? He said, yeah, I got your number. So he texted to me, and I had his number too. So now we're trying to get him on Hanging and Banging.
Oh,
But it was funny.
absolutely, absolutely.
I'm looking at him going, I know this guy, but I can't place him, you know.
Can you
I had
guys?
Vinny tell him.
Can you guys? We're talking a minute to Neil about Eddie. Can you believe that yesterday it was a year already that we lost Eddie?
Really? That quick?
Believe that? Yeah, man, it's just unbelievable, right?
Wow, that was quick.
It's crazy. But Neil, talking about the Van Halen thing, but I love your FU book thing there, that thing. I know, man. So obviously, what made you finally? Did you ask everybody to do it, or just happen to be a compilation of pictures that you happen to have of people giving a finger?
Well, I got a big mouth, so when I'm shooting photos, I'm like, come on, do this, give me some attitude, and they're like, Neil, fuck you, So, I mean, we got Steven Tyler on stage in front of 18,000 people, flip me off. We got the Bullet Boys in Japan in front of the McDonald's. We got David Lee Roth at his shoe where everybody's looking here, and Dave's like, they don't even. So that's just a culmination of all the different bands. And every time I'd get the film back and I'd look at it with this Sebastian flipped me off. Let's put this here. So after my first book with my book publisher, because I always had the idea to do a book, I said, hey, I got this idea and I got a collection of people, flip me off. And they're like, send us like 20 or 30. So the one photo that sold the book to my book publisher was a picture of Chick Corea flipping me off. And they're like, Neil,
Chick Corea.
Wow.
He looks like he's never flipped anybody off in his life. And he's like, so I mean, there's everybody there flipped me off. So, but no, I did not ask him. That's 45 years of people flipped me the finger. And there's a lot of Tommy Lee. There's a lot of Nikki Sixx. There's a lot of Eddie Van Halen. Some people like to flip me off more than others.
Well, Neil, I've been wanting to do
Hey, Neil.
That's right, Neil.
Hey, Neil. Hey, Neil.
Hey, yo.
I've been wanting to do this for a long time. There you go, Neil.
There you go, Neil. Here we go.
That was a good one. That was a good one.
On that note, we're going to take a quick break here because every Thursday we are here hanging and banging right on this Bat channel, and we are going to show a little commercial about what's coming up next week.
It's CARMINE APPICE here for Hangin' and Bangin'. On 10/14, we have Brett Smith from Shinedown, and a good friend of mine, Vinny John Tempesta, the drummer from The Cult, and Rob Zombie, a great player and great friend. So we'll see you then. Hangin' and Bangin', 10/14, 7 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Central, 4 o'clock over there where Vinny is, and it's going to be a good show. We're going to have a lot of fun. So you can check it out on Artists on Lockdown and also on CARMINE APPICE Facebook official. Okay? See you then. All right.
You're getting good there, Carminucci. You're getting
What
good
happened?
with that stuff.
It was frozen on my TV. I didn't see anything.
We saw it.
I saw a bunch of stills.
We were in awe. It was really. We got to submit that.
Took our breath away. Took our breath away.
It not only took the breath away, it took Vinny away from my shirt. It was amazing.
Oh, it did.
What
do you got on now?
Oh my God!
This is the real deal.
Hey, somebody gave you the finger.
Oh, thanks. You know what? Getting a finger from Neil is like
Betty
a
Ann
trophy.
Trevino gave you the finger, Neil.
She gave you 3 fingers.
Oh my gosh. Well, she enjoyed it when he gave her the finger that one night, but that's a whole nother story. Anyway,
she liked the tongue better.
Hold on, but don't.
I know. Come on, I got 2 drummers on, no rim shots. What's going on here?
I did a symbol.
It's too far away.
Too far away. Hey, Mark. I think the decade that rocked in its 4th printing, everybody loves it. It's a staple in the rock and roll collection. Did you think that it was going to be that successful? I mean, we all do projects that we just do for just for posterity reasons. But this is a true. I mean, in fact, I'm sure even some schools have used it for some purposes.
I mean, it took me 7 years, believe it or not. I wanted
really.
It took a lot of hills and valleys, but it ended up perfect, exactly how I wanted to. Yeah, you do a project. It was like my first record, because I never did a book before, and it was time to do it. And when I decided to do it 7 years ago, and it did turn out exactly how I perceived it to be, and it's just the beginning. I mean, Neil's done a bunch of books. I'm going to start doing my books now. I'm at that age where it's like you got to look back at what you've done and your accomplishments, and be proud of what you did, and show the world. And at this point, I think there's a lot of rock and metal fans that are in their 20s that appreciate and want to hear our stories, Neil's and mine, and other photographers that have been through it. That had the fortunate ability to get to where we ended up, which was backstage. Shooting material backstage, these are guys that opened up for Ozzy, and they were just kind of, feeling the success, and we had the access to bring it to the magazines and to the fans. It's pretty cool.
Love that Ozzy shot.
I remember that one.
Yeah, were you there?
Is that Neil? Is that I mean?
There you go.
I remember that one.
That is incredible, Mike. I didn't know about that one. Holy cow!
And actually, the next photo I couldn't show because Ozzy actually stabbed him in the head.
That's why my head's all red there.
After years of therapy, now he's just coming out of it. I'm looking at you guys in your offices. It looks like probably your home offices, and I see a lot of cool. Wow, look at that! Holy smokes!
I was at my high school. Like, instead of going on my high school prom, I went to see Led Zeppelin. I was 17 when I shot that.
See, that's a true rocker right there. That is a true rocker.
That's a great shot. Yeah.
As I was saying, I'm looking at you guys at your offices there, and I see a lot of cool stuff. And I got to think, over 40, 45 years of guys doing this stuff, and I'm asking this question to both you guys, is there any one particular prop or piece of something from a shoot that you kept that, I'm going to keep this thing, or you just happen to have that's really special or cool?
I know I myself never used many props because I always wanted the band to be the main focal point. So I never said, oh, let's get a mannequin or let's get this statue of whatever. So I don't really have anything that I still have some of that Motley Crue blood left over from the Motley Crue blood session in 1984. So.
That's it.
I'm actually looking around to see because my office is kind of like a museum. I'm kind of looking around. I have actually the original Slippery When Wet.
Hey, what's that picture over there on the left?
Hey, look at that.
Oh, that's cool.
I got the shirt. If anyone wants to buy it, I'll sell it.
What about that picture next to you, next to your right hand? Look at that, huh?
There's Carmine and my little silk screen we did. One of my favorite photos. That was from that same photo shoot.
Yep, it was.
Mark, you just held up the Slippery When Wet shirt there. I know there was a very interesting story how you got John involved with that, or how you got involved with that with John.
Oh, well, that's like an hour show, but it was called Wanted Dead or Alive at first. We dressed them up like cowboys. I did like a wanted poster. That didn't go well. Then we ended up doing a Slippery When Wet. They had a bar of soap, believe it or not, which I in detail have it in my book. And there's actually a bar of soap that we spent like $3,000 on with a hand model holding a bar of soap called Slippery When Wet. But the preluded that was the girl with the boobs, and because it was during the PMRC 1985-86, they didn't want to take the chance, so that was scrapped. And then John just came up and said, "Get me a black hefty plastic bag," and he came up. He wrote Slippery When Wet. He didn't want to see any Polaroids. He said, "Send it to the record company." That's it. So that's the important story.
Hey, Neil, you got everybody sending in. Everybody's giving Ron the finger and you the finger. Everybody's doing the finger now.
Yeah. Because it's never happened before, right, guys? To us.
Yeah. Not on this show.
I know. Tell me about the. I know, Neil, you and Carmine did a very special shoot, didn't you? Was that we were looking at before? That was Mark, right? That you did with the Ozzy.
That was Mark.
Yeah, Ozzy. But we did a
Yeah,
special.
so
We did a special shoot with We Magazine back in the day. I don't know if you remember
Oh
that.
yeah, that was the
That
special.
was pretty. That was really special.
That was pretty bizarre and crazy. It sold 3 million copies, and
Yeah.
they gave me an award, the We Spill the Beans Award, and Linda Blair gave me the award.
Lost your Ludwig endorsement. You know.
I lost my Ludwig endorsement because of it, because that was when AIDS was just going around, and Bill Ludwig the second thought that
Billy.
Bill Ludwig the second thought that I was diseased with AIDS, and he didn't want me to be on there, and it was disgusting because I was like,
There we go.
it was amazing. Oh, there you go, look at that.
And my mother was pissed off too.
Yeah,
I bet.
my mother probably
See,
was. And you know what's
you got-
funny? Those two girls, the husband was on the other side of the camera.
Oh,
Right,
that's
Mark?
funny.
They were, and we kicked
They
them
were.
out after the shoot. Remember?
Yep,
That's
funny.
funny.
It was
No.
a hell of a. Well, that's when what you do? Were you doing all the shoots for the Wii?
Yeah, I was
They
doing
had
all
Motley Crue, they had
Yeah, that
Ozzy,
was
they had
actually-
me.
Motley Crue's first national layout that we did was in We Magazine. We got a bunch of
Right.
naked women. Then we did Ozzy, we did Joe Perry, we did Rick James actually,
Yeah.
and
So I was in good company.
yeah, the publicist didn't like me, but you know,
I used to
Oh
be,
well, you guys.
see, Ron, I used to be big.
No, listen. We know every. I'm telling you guys, and you know this, but every week I say this every week, and people's ears are bleed about it. But I'm on this show every week with Vinny and Carmine, and it just blows my mind how many careers these two guys have touched. Especially Carmine, who's been around so much longer. But the
Way
reality
longer.
is, so many careers, so many.
Way longer.
I shot him when I was sneaking in with Rod Stewart, and he was playing at the Garden in '77. I got a shot of that. You know,
Wow.
first time I shot.
Neil,
Really,
did you shoot Rod at all when I was with him?
Yeah, we were hanging in Hawaii when you went over to Hawaii, Blaisdell.
Oh, that's right.
You played a couple
That's right.
nights there. Me and you were hanging and barbecuing.
You know which one I remember? When King Cobra played Acapulco. It was called Rockapulco Festival with Quiet Riot, King Cobra, and LaToya Jackson. And
Oh,
we
yeah.
brought all the photographers and everybody where you came with us, right, Neil?
I wasn't there.
You weren't. Come on, you had to be there.
Nah, you were
I
too.
swear to God, it was
You were
you.
too cheap to fly me there, probably.
No, we
Yeah,
had that.
you're
We
right.
had extra tickets.
I
We had
didn't
extra
go.
tickets, and we brought. Maybe we bought magazines,
No.
but it was unbelievable time. I was
Who
there.
shot
Who
us
shot
this?
that?
How come
Who
they
shot
look
us?
out of focus?
Who
Is
shot
that
us?
yours?
That?
because you
Yeah.
took it. Because you took
There,
it. Will.
sharpen it up. You got
There
it
we
in
go.
out of focus mode. Sharpen it.
Wow.
And
Neil,
there
tell
we go.
Tell me about
So-
a night, Neil.
Wow.
Please tell me about a night shooting Freddie Mercury. What kind of dynamic was happening?
Don't get the wrong idea about me.
I know, man.
I didn't hang with Freddie at night. You know, I just got him on stage. I didn't hang with him. You know, so no Queen. Honestly, I was never a big Queen fanatic, but I did like that stage of Queen's career. That was probably 76, 77. I shot that photo. This is really early Kiss for you. That's much better. Good work, Ben.
Nicely
Yeah.
done, Benjamin. But really, look at him. That is early
Yeah,
Freddie.
great shot.
Yeah, I mean, he was a great entertainer. Just musically, I'm a little harder than that. I like the hard stuff. So.
Oh, sure.
You said hard.
God bless you.
God bless
not,
you.
not alcohol. You know.
Look at
Look
that.
at her. Look at a younger. Look at
Even Joan over here. I mean,
look at
that was
Joni.
76, 77. I shot that. You know,
Wow.
Yeah, it was early Runaways there. My God, almost.
very early.
Yeah, my
Yeah.
God. Did you talked about being hard and maybe a little tougher on some of these guys, Neil. Did you ever, and I don't know if you guys do this, sometimes
Frankie.
look at that Zappa shot, man. Did you ever have like a problem with anybody that you got back to him with a shot that wasn't as flattering, anything like that?
No.
To get the last laugh?
I've had problems. No, I would never do that because my job is to make my subjects look as good as possible. Okay.
Mhm.
So, for instance, a writer most of them are frustrated musicians, and they see someone on stage and like, oh, I could do that. How come I'm not doing that? So,
Yep.
they could, rip someone's new album apart, or they could go see someone live and the act's amazing, and they could come back, oh, they weren't so good, because they're jealous. My job is to make everybody look as fantastic as possible.
That's actually a good point, Neil. I mean, I never even looked at it like that, but yeah, photographers are there to make the artist look as good as possible. They're not there to, and what makes a good photographer is to take a good photograph, knowing how to do it, and then to edit out the bad shit, because everyone's taking bad stuff. And that's why the artists like me and Neil, because we knew what the bad stuff was. A lot of those photographers back in the day, there was there was such a demand for photography, and there were so many other like C and D photographers. There's not even any B ones. It's just either A or C and D. And the C and Ds would just take some photos, didn't know what they had, and they sent it to the magazines. And then a lot of the magazine editors didn't even know, So it's really up to us to like put the best photographs out there. And, we knew how to do that. We knew the game, and we didn't want to put out images. We just knew how to do it. We knew what they looked like. We knew how they wanted to look. We wanted to make look better than they did. And that's why me and Neil, got along and succeeded like 40 years later.
Yeah,
you got the eye.
50 years later, I'm going on 53 years doing this. I don't really shoot photos anymore. I haven't picked up a camera in a couple of years,
Really?
Now being a photographer is the most pathetic, unappreciative, underrated profession in the world. I mean, no one wants to pay anymore because I was just in Connecticut with my ex-wife's family, and we did a photo with about 20, 25 family members in the photo. I shot it with my kids' iPhone 10. I got 11 by 14 prints made. They look amazing. So
it's a different game.
Yeah, but
there's no thinking involved. The cameras do the thinking now. Back when me and myself and Mark were doing our heyday or whatever you want to call it, we had to do the thinking. We had to know our medium, our film, our camera, our lenses, our light meters, all that stuff. So
that is true.
My daughter's getting married a week from Saturday, right? And Alex Solka's doing the pictures.
That's good.
You know Alex, right? Mark, you know Alex, right?
Of course.
He was a rock guy for years, and now the business is like, not needed that much anymore.
Well, with what Neil said, it is true. But the way I feel about photography now, I actually feel the same way as I did like back in the day, because I love taking pictures. I don't care it's great to make money in magazines and whatnot, but like I like to do what I do just as I did back 30, 40 years ago. There's no market there, but I do enjoy getting in the photo pit.
Sounds like the music business.
Yeah.
For us.
Same thing.
You go out and make records. I mean, some guys don't even want to make the records anymore. They said, why bother? Nobody hears them, nobody buys them. I just say, would you just want to keep the legend going? You want to keep the legacy going and create new music,
You do it because you like the art.
I love it.
Well,
love it.
Yeah.
Take us on the, explain to us the process, because now email, Google, YouTube, scanning, this, that, it's all electronic, it's all this. But back in the day, how did you get you nail this photo? You're in a dark room. You're printing it. How did you get it out? I mean, explain the process. How'd you get it to Rolling Stone? How'd you get it to Circus and all these people? You didn't have emails and all this crap back then.
Oh, FedEx.
It was very, very, very stressful. First of all, if you got to go through if you're traveling, you got to go through the X-ray machine. You got to take the film out.
Oh, right.
All that bullshit. And then you got to, if it's black and white, and I don't know, Neil's experience, but, sometimes in black and white, you develop the film back in the day, in the 70s. It's like sometimes they touch each other and the film doesn't come out. And, so it's a lot of experience. And a lot of pressure, a lot of stress. And now today, digital, it's pretty amazing. You know, there's no stress. You take a picture and you know you got it.
And you
And
can
we
make
take
copies.
100 pictures. You take 100 pictures in 3 seconds, probably, with the thing that's going on.
You can do that, and that's what most photographers do. And out of 100 photos, about 3 of them are actually good.
Right.
And then the other 97 you might as well throw in the trash.
Come on, I got 1,400 photos on my phone. I'm a
Yeah,
photographer too. You know, it's like crazy.
everyone is.
I do encourage new. If someone wanted to, like, I get a lot of emails, and when I see people at the book signings, and you know they want to be a rock and roll photographer, and they want my advice, and I just say, you know, find a band that you like and like to hang out with. You know, grab your camera, get those intimate moments, because that's what's going to do it, and just ride with it, and do what you do and do what you like to do, but don't expect to make any money. And
Yeah, right.
And see where it goes, you know, because you don't know where it's going to go. If you don't go, you don't know.
Yeah, and that's what I tell people to look. If you want to be a photographer and you enjoy shooting photos for the fun of it, great. But if you plan on making a living and supporting your family and paying your bills being a photographer,
Forget about it.
Forget it. It's not going to happen. Period.
Well, you know, you talked about Mark. You talked about moments. You know, I mean, you're in the pit. You're taking a picture of a band. That's one scenario. Another scenario, you're okay. Stand there, do this, put your arms up, whatever it is. That's another scenario. Do you guys remember a scenario where you just captured a moment by mistake, like he happened to talking to his child, or something very special? Do you have a memory of your favorite thing that you captured a special moment?
I don't.
Either one of you?
Neil don't remember yesterday. Come on.
No, like, me and Neil like taking so many photographs, and there's I don't think there's one specific moment. I can't myself, so I'm in the, you know, no. I say I don't.
Yeah,
but do you remember one special one?
The one my one special shoot that I remember, because I know you asked Neil earlier if there was one shoot. Mine was when I shot Ozzy in the Pink Tutu, and that was my first cover in magazine, one of my first covers, and it wasn't supposed to be the cover. It ended up being the cover, and that's kind of how me and Ozzy became friends and started working with him. So the Pink Tutu with Ozzy with boxing gloves. It was for Circus Magazine, and it was supposed to be for a black and white photograph in Athletic in this thing called the High School Yearbook. And the editor, the owner of the publisher, Jerry Rothberg, looked at the photo and he goes, "We're gonna put this on the cover." I'm like, I didn't know. I was like 20 years old, 21 years old. I'm like, all right, go for it. When Ozzy and Sharon saw that, they couldn't believe that I had gave that to him for the cover, because it wasn't supposed to be for the cover. Right. And they ended up using it, and then it ended up getting really good press out of it. And then we started having a great relationship after that. But for a while, I was on a little bit of with the Osbournes, but it turned around. It ended up being awesome. And then I ended up shooting Ozzy in all these different outfits.
I was on a little bit with the Osbournes too, but it never turned around.
Yeah.
You don't want to do that.
I think I was there when you left the stage, pretty much.
Well, it was in Houston, was it? Were you in Houston with us?
Yeah, I was there. I remember saying goodbye.
It was when Robert, the tour manager, who is the brother of Def Leppard drummer.
Right.
Yeah. He said, Sharon wants to talk to you, and I went in the office there.
Dun, 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 dun.
Dun, yeah, that's right. Dun, 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 dun. And then she said, we asked Andre Yerodi to stay, but he wouldn't stay. He's going to go with you. I said, of course he is. He's not going to stay with you after you fired me.
When were you with Ozzy? What year were you play with Ozzy?
83, 84. Bark at the Moon.
Then I played with them, and
Tommy left, after Aldridge left, right?
Yeah, no. They called me because they didn't like the way Aldridge sounded on the album. They wanted me to come in the studio and help fix the drum sound with Tony Bon Jovi, which I did. And I know Tony from the Fudge days. and I had an associate producer credit on that Bark at the Moon album.
Really?
Until she fired me. And I
Another
did vocals
firing.
with Ozzy. I did vocals with Ozzy. I took care of Ozzy. She left Ozzy in my care in New York City, which I was amazed at. And
That's a
and then we
handful.
went to Europe. We did the Bark at the Moon video. Did a European tour, and then I did 8 weeks in America. And Motley Crue was the opening act. That's when I met the Motley Crue guys.
Okay.
That's
Sharon
crazy.
didn't like Carmine because then I played with Ozzy and worked with Sharon in 2000. And every morning she'd get up and go, "You're so much nicer than your brother." Every fucking morning. Because
And we know
Carmine
that
sued
ain't
her.
true.
She
Carmine
doesn't
sued
like
her.
me
That's why.
either. Sharon doesn't like me either. So
Yeah, she doesn't
Good.
like Carmine. She likes me.
Wait,
Why
Carmine's
does she like
Carmine
you,
But she
Neil?
don't like me because I had to suit him. Of course she don't like me.
Neil, why
Yeah.
doesn't she like you?
you know what? I have no
No
idea
idea.
in the world. I actually think she has me mixed up with someone else because with Ozzy, you're
Maybe she
either
thought
in
you were
there
me.
or out there. And in 2001, right before 9/11, I did this big shoot with him and Zach, and everything was great. And then that was the last time I ever worked with him. Every time I call up Mike at the office, you can. It's fine, but I think she's got me mixed up with someone else. So
She probably
I don't
thinks
know.
you're me, Neil.
Maybe. No, I think she hates me more than you.
Oh, really? I don't think so.
I think so.
I think
You know,
I'm
guys-
I have not talked to her or seen her since 1984.
You're
Anyway.
probably you're lucky.
And when I did see Ozzy, remember when we did those things at the Guitar Center with the handprints? They were doing Zach, and I was talking to Ozzy, and Ozzy going, "How you doing?" As Ozzy always said, I know you got problems with my missing, but I hope we can be friends, And we're talking, and all of a sudden this security guard comes up and goes, "Ozzy, Sharon wants you," because he was talking to me.
Bump, ba-dum, bump.
He's in trouble.
So
Guys, each week we talk about, it comes up, the name Gene Krupa comes up. The name Buddy Rich comes up with all the drummers. Who are your guys, Buddy Rich or Gene Krupa, in your industry?
Are you thinking of me and Mark or you
you
Yeah,
guys.
and you better watch what you say right here.
Well, Neil already said Jim Marshall, I think, right? Is that
well, I thought you wanted to know our favorite drummers.
Yeah.
No,
We know who that is.
it was
Your
an
mentor.
Oh, I thought it was drummers.
Oh,
Sorry.
It was an analogy. I got that. It was an analogy.
Jim Marshall to me by far. No one ever compared to Jim Marshall. Period. I don't think most photographers have big egos, but to me, no one comes close to Jim Marshall.
Well, Jim was very humble. I met him a couple times, but to me, and it's not really about the photographs. It's about the personality. And Lynn Goldsmith was very instrumental. She was kind of like she took me under her wing back in the day. And also Bob Gruen. I like his style.
Oh, Bob.
Yeah,
I
Bob
kind of
Gruen, right.
take Lynn Goldsmith and Bob Gruen. I mix it up and with a little bit of Mick Rock in there, and there's Mark Weiss.
Wow. That's a really cool mix. Put that in a blender and a Mark Weiss shake comes out, huh?
And you get the decade that rocked.
Plug.
Neil Zlozower, Mark Weiss, thank you so much for being with us on Hangin' and Bangin' this week, A Decade That Rocked. Again, these are great books. Get the Van Halen, the vocal hit. There's a history. There's so many of these things that are out there that you need to get because these guys are true legends. Thank you for joining us, guys. And thank you out there for joining us once again, as we are every Thursday, Artists on Lockdown, Hangin' and Bangin'. Make sure you guys watch our credits because there are so many people that are part of this show that really put it together, deserve a lot of thanks from Love, production, Steve and the guys, and Ben and Gwen and everybody backstage. Really, thank you all so much. We'll see you next week on Hangin' and Bangin'. Make sure that you are sharing, you are liking, you are checking us out on our YouTube page because we got a lot of stuff going on. So once again, thank you, and we'll see you next week. Artists on Lockdown, Hangin' and Bangin'.